Welcome, everybody. Today, I have the pleasure of telling you guys about my personal story, my personal struggle, why I got off the scale and stopped weighing myself so that I could learn how to love myself more deeply and learn how to take care of myself in a way that I hadn't understood until I actually got off the scale. And in today's episode, I'm going to share this story with you, and I'm going to invite you to share your stories with me. Most of my clients have gotten rid of their scales and take sustainable action every single day towards their health without even knowing the number. We don't need to be motivated by the number. We have a responsibility to be motivated by our lives and just by the actions we take, fueling ourselves and helping us live out our best lives in the health that we could only dream of. And that's something that I dreamed of for a long time. I thought that belonged to the scale. I thought it belonged to a diet. I thought it belonged to a weight loss goal, and it didn't. Now, weight loss has been the result. It can be the result. And for many of us, it's necessary. We want to enjoy our bodies. We want to feel like our clothes feel really good. We want to feel like our joints aren't achy. We want to feel like we can say yes to things in our life that might require you to lose a little weight. That's fine. But what I'm saying is that you can do that without hyper focusing on the scale, and you can do it and you can be more motivated to take action in your life without stepping on the scale. So I'm going to share my story with you guys today, and I hope it inspires you to also get off the scale and do what I call get into your life, because you have only one. And for you to be able to take action by understanding yourself and knowing yourself more deeply is the goal for me to help any woman who really truly needs that, because that on and off again yo-yo dieting thing that I did for 20 years that kept me stuck spinning my wheels and continuing to be in the bath of self-loathing just wasn't working for me anymore. And I'm going to tell you all about that today. It's such a relief to me today, for example, that I wasn't counting how many nuts or how much cheese or how much lettuce or putting it in a little container to make sure that I wasn't going to overeat today by just eating my salad because it felt really good to me and nourishing. And I know that the healthy fats are going to make my brain strong so that I can show up here and I can share with you guys my story. It's such a relief to know that I didn't have to think about anything except for what I was eating in that moment that was actually going to serve me. And I want that to be your truth too. And whether or not you're here because you actually know what you're supposed to be eating, or if you don't know what you're supposed to be eating, that doesn't matter. The truth is inside of you. It's not in a documentary. It's not on Instagram. It's not in some meal plan. It's actually inside of you waiting to be seen. So let's get off the scale together. And I'm going to explain to you why I did that and why I believe that you guys should do that too through my vulnerable story of getting off the scale and into my own life. So welcome to the podcast, Off the Scale. And this is the podcast that takes a refreshing look and a simplified approach to health. I am your host, Helen Birney, and together we'll explore a world where well-being isn't measured in pounds or calories. And in a society that is obsessed with scales and numbers, today I'm here to help you break free from the conventional norms. We're going to dive into a realm where health is about feeling good, nourishing your body, and embracing a healthy lifestyle without the need for constant counting, weighing, or portioning. It is possible. So join me each week as we unravel the secrets to a healthier, happier life. It is time for us to shift the focus from the scale to the incredible journey of self-discovery and well-being. So in today's episode, get ready to go off the scale with me through insightful conversation and discussion about what it's like to be challenged by the scale and to be able to get off of it. And we're going to embark on this transformative journey together in this episode and many other episodes following. So thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm going to share with you why I got off the scale and the surprising truth that happened when I did. This is my origin story rooted in 20 years of diet culture, self-loathing, 5, 10, 15, 20, 40-pound weight fluctuations, and the search for the perfect diet to quiet the noise in my head that told me I was never enough. The day I stepped off the scale and into my life was the day that I decided I would never invest in a diet plan ever again. I was sick of it. I was tired of approaching that cold surface underneath of my bare feet that gave me whatever information I felt like I needed that day. And I was tired of always deciding whether I'd step on it in a variety of different contexts. And I know you guys know what this feels like. Am I going to step on it with my clothes on or my clothes off? Am I going to step on it with my shoes on or my shoes off? Am I going to step on the scale with before a bowel movement or after a bowel movement? Am I going to put it on the tile floor or on the carpet floor? I wanted to do whatever I could in order to be able to say, okay, well, that's my truth. That's how much I've lost today, or that's how much I haven't gained. Right around my period, I never wanted to step on the scale. Not on my period, I would consider it. And for some reason, after my period, just to see the damage that I brought on myself from eating so much or whatever it was I was doing, I always wanted to step on it to see what I had to do to then control myself. The numbers, whether they went down or up, always had a way of judging me. And I wanted more or I wanted less. And in either of those contexts, I hated myself just as much. Whether I wanted more weight loss or I didn't want weight loss anymore, I still didn't love and appreciate the body that I had. So if I didn't love and appreciate my body, the one that I had up until that point, then why was I still stepping on the scale and weighing myself every single day? What did it mean for me to be able to gain or lose? It didn't mean anything to me anymore, except that I was stuck in the cycle of self-loathing and wanting and using the scale as motivation. And every time I stepped on the scale without a new result, what would I do? I would look for another diet. Okay. So if you're anything like me or my clients, you simply want what I wanted. You want to fit in your own clothes. You want to feel desired. You want to stop effort eating. You want to get rid of aches and pangs. You're a busy professional or a mom feeling uncomfortable in your long ignored body. You don't want to hide in pictures anymore. Hormonal changes have challenged your body. Shifting into healthy habits is a challenge in your life right now, or you simply just want to feel better about yourself. I have felt every single one of those things, and you guys can let me know in the comments if that's something that you felt before too, because you're not alone in that, and it's something that many of us as women feel. And no matter the reason, and I've had all of them, the old way of counting calories, macros, and weighing myself kept me stuck in that cycle of yo-yo dieting for 20 years of my adult life. 20 years I wasted on this until I said enough is enough. And I want you guys to say enough is enough too. I want you to get off the scale and into your life to achieve something greater than a weight loss goal. I want you to do what I did, which is this. I took my scale the day that I decided I wouldn't step on it anymore. And you can totally do this too. And I took it outside with my best friend, and there was a neighbor driving by. And as she drove by, we flagged her down and we took the scale and we said, "We want you to run over this with your car." And she was like, heck yeah, we're doing this. And so she did, and it burst into a million pieces all over the middle of the street. And we just jubilantly jumped up and down with freedom like we've never felt before. And it's totally 100% true. I did that. We did that. And I believe that you can do that too. And you never have to look at the scale again for your self-worth or your truth. You get to eat well, and you get to choose a lifestyle that serves you, and you get to have positive thoughts about yourself without ever even knowing the number. It's such a relief to know that those are choices you get to make so that you can live in a world where you feel really good. I want you to feel closer to yourself. I want you to be able to say, this is what I do rather than this is the diet that I'm on. And getting rid of the scale will empower you to start doing that. I want you to be able to put the way you think about yourself, what you eat, and hone a lifestyle that gives you life, hope, possibility, and it fulfills your dreams. It's possible for you to have all that, but not when you just whittle down your self-worth to a number. Okay. When we have the health that works for us instead of against us, there's no more self-sabotage and there's no more on and off again. There's only forward momentum. Today can and will be different if you're willing to stop stepping on the scale and you're willing to stop using the number as a way of measuring whether or not you're doing a good job. There are other things that you can feel that are going to tell you whether or not you're on the right track. And I go into those in my episodes about why we need to get off the scale and why we should stop weighing ourselves and what we should do instead. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to those episodes, it's a good time to start doing that. Now, I'm going to illustrate some of the common struggles that women face with dieting today, my own struggles and my client struggles, and prove why you must take a different action now. I'm going to take you through some powerful steps through my energetic eating method program throughout the duration of the podcast. And I want you guys to continue to tune in so that you can get those tips so that you don't have to step on the scale to measure your self-worth, and you can take sustainable action and empower yourself a different way. And today, I want every one of you to imagine two ways of being. Here's the first way. You want to lose weight, and every day you tell yourself how dissatisfied you are so that you do the right things today. You step on the scale to get the win. You wait for your fate. Sometimes the scale says what you want it to say, and sometimes it doesn't. You throw caution to the wind and hop right back on a diet to get more results or the results that you want to see. Now, the way that that feels when I tell that, it tells you a little bit about the energy that is happening when you are engaged in that cyclical process of, I'm going to diet, I'm going to weigh myself, I'm going to see whether or not I get a loss, and then I'm going to diet again. Okay. The energy of that even makes me feel closed up. It makes my shoulders round down. It makes me feel small. It makes me feel stuck in a cycle. Okay. The second way that I want you to imagine being is that every single day you take action because you see yourself as healthy and strong today. It is a choice that you're making. You are choosing today, I see myself as healthy and strong, and I'm going to think and eat and live in alignment with my health and strength, with the way that I want to feel. I'm deciding that it is today. So suddenly you have the strength, the dedication, and the support to live your best life for yourself today, not for the scale, right in this moment, right now. You take a healthful action because it's easy for you, and you don't need to step on the scale because you're proud and happy with what you are doing because it's helping you feel the way that you want to feel in your life. Therefore, every single bite and every movement and every choice that you make works for you instead of against you. You're in tune with your life and your body, and it feels easy, aligned, and impactful. That's what I call energetic eating. It's what I teach my clients. It's my signature methodology that helps you understand what it's like to stop stepping on the scale and to honor your self-worth outside of it, and to understand how your health impacts your life overall. The results can be the same, but you do not need to step on the scale to validate that for yourself. It's a feeling that I want you to have today. And I'm inviting podcast listeners to hop on a 20-minute health clarity call with me to get support with leaning into way two. Health should be easy and the choices you make impactful in a world that tells you that dieting is the solution. I'm here to tell you different. I'm here to tell you that you are the solution. Understanding yourself, connecting with yourself through food is the solution. Connecting with yourself through your lifestyle is the solution, not connecting with the diet. I'm going to put the link in the comments of our live recording here in the Energetic Way and in the show notes for anybody who's watching this on the recording for YouTube, so that you guys can get the support that you deserve in order to be able to make the choices in alignment with your best self. Okay, on the call, I'm going to go over a brief history with you, brief history of dieting, where your health is today, set some goals for you of where you want to go, and then give you a path and a few tips to be able to take some action right now. And should it sound like you need more support, we can schedule another call after that so that I can check in with you and see how it's going for you. I am here to be able to support every woman in ditching the scale and taking action for herself. So if you'd like to spend 20 minutes together on this health clarity call, then go ahead and book that call. There's no strings attached. It's just a call for us to get to know each other and for me to give you a couple tips to go in the right direction. And I want every single one of you to know that you can get crystal clear on what it would look like for you to have exactly what you want for your health. But unfortunately, instead of imagining this and going for it, so many of us treat our bodies like machines. We say, well, give me the exact meal plan, give me the calories in or the calories out, tell me how many macros to count. But at the end of the day, it's exhausting and it's not sustainable. And it's not the way we were built. It's not. We live in a world surrounded by food and by processed food and by food that gives us low energy, that we think that we need to control it using macros and calories. But instead, we can actually get in touch with what we need by feeling the way that the food causes us to feel. Then we make choices based on that. I don't want to feel like garbage. I don't think you want to feel like garbage either. So If we're not going to feel that way, then the most important decisions we can make is to get in touch with what food makes me feel that way and what food doesn't, and make the choices going in the right direction for us. It doesn't have to be step by step in a linear fashion, and this is how much weight I'm losing every single week. I told you guys in the beginning, the result can be weight loss, but the process is going to be different. So you can let go of the confines of dieting and the scale and live your life. So for decades, I spent in and out of yo-yo dieting. And listen, anyone can follow a list of foods for a few weeks. That's the diet. But what I'm going to teach you is to feel exactly what you need rather than follow a list of diet trends or foods. In this podcast, you're going to understand more about how your thoughts, your foods, and your lifestyle are going to guide you to a body that's going to thrive today and every single day. That's what all of this is about. Now, I told you guys that there were some surprising truths that came up when I got off the scale. And since we aren't looking for perfecting our bodies, we no longer have to have a proof to self-sabotage, and we no longer have excuses to cheat, and we no longer have any rules to live by except for how we feel. So we get rid of the scale, then we get rid of that perfect box of exactly what am I going to lose? What am I going to look like? How is it going to be? And instead, we start opening ourselves up to how we want to feel in the world. And when you can be in touch with how you want to feel, you're going to make those choices more easily. You can start seeing the parts of yourself that need to change that aren't weight-based, but are satisfaction-based. Let me say that again. When you get off the scale and you start getting in touch with the choices you're making for your life, for your food, for your lifestyle, and for the thoughts you want to have about yourself, you start to see the parts of yourself that need to change that aren't weight-based. They're not weight-based, they're satisfaction-based. That means that you start to actually understand who you are as a person, not as an object. Here are the things that I learned. These are my surprising truths. I learned that I could eat to have energy for my kids and my workday instead of to lose weight. I learned that I can work out so that I can say yes to other parts of my life, like hiking mountains, paddleboarding, playing tennis, helping friends move, and running to raise money for charity. I learned that when my body wasn't a project, my relationships and my work became my main projects. I learned that when I took care of my body and listened to what she needed, I could overcome depression, anxiety, Lyme disease. I learned that I could not only fit into clothes I had before, but guess what? I didn't even like those clothes. So I was able to donate them and buy myself a new wardrobe. I realized that in 1 year, I can have bathing suit bottoms that fit over my entire butt. And in the next year, they only fit half of my butt cheek, but I still feel sexy and beautiful. I realized that I can coach women to be even stronger and better than me. So I have women who are running half marathons and I'm running 5Ks and I'm still coaching them. And I don't have to be anything more than exactly as I am to lead women into a life they love with a body that just loves them back. And the biggest truth of all is that nothing I experienced in my life leads me to be dependent on a number on a scale. It's dependent on how I feel, the thoughts that I have about myself to generate the feelings that I want about my body, and then the actions that I need to take me to get there. It seems so obvious. If I want to feel good, confident, powerful, and beautiful, it takes thinking well, eating well, moving well, resting well, and living well. It does seem so obvious. But the biggest difference is that none of these feelings come from a number. They come from me. They come from my heart. They come from who I am as a person. And every single day I get to wake up grateful for the body that I'm in because I know that the way I treat my body is the way that I want to be treated. I also know not everyone can feel what needs to be done, which is why I wrote a 12-step program to help every woman get off the scale and into her life powerfully so that she can have the health of her dreams. You can for sure do this on your own. You can take all of the tips that I give you throughout this podcast series. You can download my ebook. You can book the call with me. You can absolutely do any of those things. And I can guide you through all of those free tips and resources through the mindset, food, and lifestyle that can support the way you want to feel in your life. If you tune in, we can absolutely do that together. But if you aren't sure what it is and you don't have the support that you need and you don't have the accountability and you don't have a system, then I want you guys to book that call with me to see if we would be a good fit to work together. The 20-minute clarity call is going to help guide you to the first step you're going to take, whether that's working with me or whether it's doing something on your own. It doesn't matter, but you deserve to know what exactly that next step is going to be.
As we wrap up another episode of Off the Scale, I want to leave you with a few simple yet powerful reminders. Health is a journey, not a destination. And in a world that's inundated with rules and restrictions, we've discovered a path that allows you to navigate your well being without the need for scales or rigid guidelines. I want you guys to remember that it's about how you feel, the joy you experience, and the vitality that radiates from within you. I hope that the insights shared here inspire you to embrace a simplified approach to health, one that's without the scale and helps you focus on nourishing your body, mind, and spirit. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to tune in on most Thursdays live in our Facebook group, The Energetic Way, an empowered approach to women's health, and subscribe on YouTube, rate, and leave a review if you guys are watching the recordings. Your feedback is invaluable as I continue to take us on this journey together. So stay tuned for more uplifting conversations to get off the scale and into your life. And until next time, be kind to yourself, prioritize your health, and remember that life is too precious to be weighed down by unnecessary burdens like the scale and the self-loathing feelings that we have about ourselves. So here's to have healthier and happier you. And thanks for tuning in.